Well, good afternoon everyone, and today is new bike day. Well, technically yesterday was new bike day, had the new bike delivered, but this is the first time I've been out on it, first chance I've had to take it out, and so far so good. So let's pull over and we'll let you have a look around what we've got. So here it is, the replacement to the Flying Satsuma is a Honda NT1100. Did anyone see that coming? It's 2022 plate, it's just done 7,000 miles, one owner, full history. It's in great condition. Well, it's in better condition than that. It's in pretty much mint condition, as you'd expect. Seems to ride an absolute treat. It's not the DCT, it's the manual. And so far, so good. I'm very impressed. Rides an absolute treat. So I've already done a little bit of fettling to it yesterday. So we have some AliExpress specials here on the handguards, fender extender down there, the mandatory rim tape on there has to go on, doesn't it? It does come with luggage, so obviously I'm not riding the luggage on tonight, but it's got the full factory luggage, and it's in great condition. So let's start it up. Sounds very nice, I have to say. It's just got the standard stock can on there, but it does sound very good. Obviously got the LEDs on the front as well. And I have to say, I know some people criticise it for looking like a scooter on steroids, but I just don't see it myself. I think it looks really great, and I'm very happy with it. So why this bike in particular? Well, to be honest, it's hard to really answer that. It just sort of caught my eye. I hadn't really considered one. Started to watch a few videos and reviews of them, and it seemed to be the kind of bike I was after. And this particular one I bought from Yule's in Manchester, trying from Honda dealer. I made the cardinal sin, which I'm sure some of you will disagree with, which was just to buy on sight unseen, which I know isn't always the best idea, but I do think if you're buying from a big reputable dealer, you do have some protection in terms of changing your mind, etc. So I bought it over the internet, if you like, paid a deposit, it got prepped for me, and it was delivered yesterday. And I spent yesterday doing a few little bits to it, as you do when you get a new bike. So putting the obligatory wheel rim tape on, fitting the shad, tank bag ring, a couple of other little bits, just cosmetic bits. And then it's a nice day today, so I thought I'd take it out for half an hour and see what I think. And I have to say, it's pretty different to the Tiger. It feels very different. This is obviously the 1100cc twin, completely different to the 1050 triple. I feel like it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. It's not in a bad way, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's very comfortable, seems to ride very nice, gear change is good, there's enough power there, certainly not as much power as the Tiger, but there's enough for the type of riding I do. And yeah, it was a great price. The dealer said it was in mint condition, which you never know, do you? Mint condition to one person means something totally different to someone else. But he sent me a few WhatsApp photos, close-up photos of it, a walk-around video. It's low mileage, one owner, with history. just been MOT'd, so I thought it was worth a punt. And when it got dropped off, I have to say, when it rolled out of the van, I did indeed agree, it was completely mint condition. It's absolutely stunning. So I'm pretty pleased with it so far. The Tiger, if you're wondering, I know I was toying with the idea of trying to keep it, but when I put this in the garage as well as the Tiger, there really was no space whatsoever. So the Tiger has gone, kind of. I put it up for sale. A guy called Lee came down from Haywood with his, I think it was his father-in-law, Kevin, I think his name was, and loved it. He'd seen it on the channel. He loved the bike. We agreed a deal, he paid a deposit, and hopefully he'll be back this week or possibly early next week to take it off my hands. So I'll be down to one bike then, because that really is all I've got space for. The switchgear on this is taking a bit of getting used to. I pressed the horn about 15 times when I've been indicating so far, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. So yeah, I did have a little bit of a ding dong with Yules, if you like, with the dealers. But to the credit, they did put that issue right. So what happened is I paid the deposit, 150 quid deposit, and they went away and prepped the bike. They told me the delivery guy would be in touch that they use to arrange a delivery. 10 days later, I got a call from the delivery guy saying, I'm bringing your bike tomorrow. I thought, brilliant, fantastic. Then the morning of the delivery, Yules on the phone saying, you haven't paid for this bike. Which my response was, well, of course I've not. I haven't got a clue how to pay for it. I don't know where I'm supposed to be transferring money. I don't know what reference I'm supposed to use. You haven't asked me to pay any money. When they went away and checked, they realised they should have sent me a sales pack with all those details on, which they'd neglected to do. So as soon as I got that, 2 minutes later, I transferred the money for the bike. And then I got a phone call 4 hours later saying we can't bring the bike today because the money takes 2 days to clear in the bank. At which point I sort of got a bit vexed, shall we say, and said, well, you've had 10 days to ask for the money. I sent you the deposit 10 days ago. You've had 10 clear days to ask me for the cash, and now you've asked me for it. The date's due to be delivered, and now you've told me you won't release the bike until the funds clear in the bank. So I wasn't best pleased, but to their credit, I have to say, Yules did say that they were very sorry about that. It was a genuine mistake on their part, and by way of rectifying the situation, they filled the tank, put a full tank of petrol in, and also waived the delivery fee, because the delivery fee for the bike was 80 quid or 85 quid, so they covered that charge as well. So I thought that was very fair of them, and going from initial disappointment to frustration to getting it sorted, you can't really ask for more than that, can you? If someone makes a mistake and they put it right, that's got to be good enough, hasn't it? So it came yesterday, as I say, looked fantastic when it rolled out of the van. Had a little fettle with it yesterday and out on it today. No regrets so far. It's purring along very nicely. The Apple CarPlay works perfectly, so it's got a little USB dongle that you plug in and you can connect it straight to your phone for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is really good. I still think I might go for a second screen here. I've not decided yet. I do need an accessory bar to fit the second camera to, because obviously I haven't got one at the moment, as you can probably see. So I'm just running off one camera today, so I'll need an accessory bar of some kind above this screen here. So when I get that, I may also add a second screen on there, so I can use this screen as it's intended to, as a dash, and then have an AOC or something similar above that. But we'll see. So yeah, I just thought I'd check in, let you know the outcome of the bike search, let you know the Flying Satsuma's gone. Obviously what I do need to do is change the logo of the channel now, because it's orange and it features the tiger, and that's gone. So there's a new little channel logo incoming, and over the next few days I'll try to get out more on the bike, get a bit more used to it, try and figure out this myriad of buttons down here, what everything does, and we'll see how we go. So that's it from me, I think. Let me know if you think I've made a terrible decision and I should have kept the Tiger, or whether you think this is a smart move. And I'll see you soon. Cheers for now.